Hey everyone, welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. My name is Leonette and I'm so excited that you are here with me today. This episode has Dollar Tree and scrap wood DIYs. Does it get better than that? We're going to jump right to it, and this one is a piece of scrap wood from another DIY I did several months ago. It never sold. It was actually a larger one, and I've been cutting pieces off of it. This is one that I have used. So the paint that I am using is Rust-Oleum chalk paint in linen white, and the brush I am using is one of my favorites currently. It's from Amazon, and it is down in the description box in my Amazon store, so make sure you check it out. All right, so I got this at the Target dollar spot. They were $3 for 3 of them, which I thought was a great deal. I love the unique shapes, and I love that they're already painted, these beautiful colors, although you can always paint over them if you need to. So as I mentioned, these are such a great deal. I love the look of it, the shapes, and those colors are beautiful. So I am going to attach it using this adhesive tape that Artisa sent me quite a bit ago. And I've used it here and there, but I think it would be perfect. A strong adhesion, and because of the shape of the vase, because it goes inwards, this worked out really good because I was able to put a strip on the bottom, a strip on top, and then I was able to double it up on the top one. And that's because that way it's a little thicker on top to make the vase just a little bit more upward. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just wanted the top to be a little thicker. So I just removed the backing tape of it, and then I placed a second strip just on the top. And this tape is awesome. I'm going to have Artisa's linked in the description box just in case you want to check it out. They do have some really good products. So anyways, I attached it to the left bottom portion of my board. Now I'm going to take these Dollar Tree florals that I get. I love these little simple white flowers. They're so easy to work with, and I'm just going to cut them off and place them right inside the vase. And friends, don't forget that Dollar Tree is now bringing a lot of wood pieces. So if you do not have scrap wood or you do not have a hardware store near you, you can always check out the stores. They have some wood pieces. And now I'm going to take these Dollar Tree butterfly decals. They're so beautiful. I love the golden tone that they have. And these decals are so durable. I can never do enough crafts with them. I love them. So I'm going to take the larger one that I see, and I'm going to place them right next to the vase. And I'm just going to spread out some of the butterflies all around the vase and the flowers until I see what I like. And we're just about done, and this one turned out absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites from today, but I always say that. But you're gonna have to let me know what you think about this one. If you enjoy DIY home decor, make sure you subscribe to our channel. I post every single week, so make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss any of the content. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take these two 1x2 pieces of wood. They are actually scrap pieces of wood out of my garage, and I cut them to 8.5 inches. But if you do not have them, remember, you can always get the ones at Dollar Tree. They have these 1x2s, and I think they're like maybe 1x2x10, and they'll do the work just fine. You can also go to the hardware store and they can cut them for you. You can get a long piece of 1x2 and they can cut them to any size you want, and for a very, very, very small price. So keep that in mind. All right, so I gave them one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Now I'm going to take this piece of fabric that I get at Walmart. They have these little bundles of fabric squares, and they have different designs, and I always get them because they're just so easy to work with. I flatten it out and I ironed it with my heat press, and then I'm just going to cut a piece that is also 8.5 inches long, and I think tall wise it's about 15 inches. No, it's about 12 inches. And then I'm just going to lightly sand the pieces of wood. This just makes it really, really soft. Now I'm going to place the piece of fabric on the back. So basically we're going to put one on the top and one on the bottom. And I'm just going to staple it in place, making sure it is nicely straight. Now, because the piece of wood on the bottom just kind of tilt over, I am going to hot glue just the top portion of it. That way it's going to stay upward on me. All right, so now it's time to put another one of those little decal butterflies because I just love them. We're going to place it on the bottom right side of the sign. And then we are going to place a ribbon that I got as a bundle at, I believe it was Michael's, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to cut a piece and hot glue it to the back, and that's how we are going to hang this piece. This is also one of my favorites. I just love the fabric to it. I love that style, and I like that it's a little different. I like that it has no words on it. It's just something you can place somewhere in your home and just look nice and pretty. I love it.
If you are enjoying this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel grow and helps this video reach more people.
For the next DIY, I'm going to take these pieces of scrap wood. I cut them down to 6.5 inches. They were in my garage, and I am going to sand this one down because it was rough. I don't know where it came from, but man, it was beat up. I'm going to dust it really, really well. And then I am also going to lightly sand with a sanding block the white ones just to smooth them out a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to give the white ones just one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white just to freshen them up. And then I'm going to give one pretty heavy coat of the same paint to the larger one, again, so that they're all match and they're all white. So now that they're all dry, now the larger one is actually not just thicker, but it's also wider, as you can tell. So I'm just going to line them up to make sure that the front of the DIY is flat. So we're going to make a little book stack. I'm going to hot glue each board in between each board because I want them to stay nicely straight in the front. And the back, it could be uneven, it's okay. So once I have them nicely glued, we are going to take some jute string and we are just going to tie him several times. It's kind of like towards the middle, but it's a little bit more towards the right. And I'm going to do this a few times, and I'm just going to make a knot, a very simple knot on the top. Friends, don't forget to check out my Etsy shop. I add new decals all the time. If you do not have a cutting machine, my Etsy shop has a lot of designs for you, already cut, already weeded, and with transfer tape on it, and free shipping. So make sure you check it out. It is linked down below. And then, of course, we're going to take one more of those little cute little golden butterfly decals, and then we're going to place one on the front, on the bottom front, and then we are going to use the X-Acto knife and cut where the planks separate, because that way it's going to look nicely just finished. And then we're going to place another one towards the top, and we're going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to put one of those other little vases that I got at Target dollar spot with some faux boxwood, and that's it. This one is beautiful and it's so easy. I keep telling you guys, these are so stinking easy. I love the simplicity, but the beauty of them are stunning. For the next DIY, I'm going to take this board that, as you can tell, I've done another DIY with, but it never sold in my booth. So I'm going to just sand down all that excess glue, and then we are going to dust it really, really well and give it one fresh coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Then we're going to use the same stamp that I used to give it that brick look. This is from A Maker Studio, and I'm also going to use the gel art ink. And I'm just going to mix the white and the dark one to create a gray to, again, mimic the same one that was already on it. So I'm just going to mix it really, really well until I see the tone that I want. Then I'm going to start dabbing it with this foam brush all around the part of the stamp, I guess, that kind of lifts up. And then I'm just going to do that all around. I don't need to do the entire stamp because as you can tell, you don't need it, But if you have a larger area, you certainly want to do the whole thing. So I'm just going to place it right on the plank, and then when I lift it up, you'll have this beautiful brick style, and it's such an easy way to add character to any of your DIYs. And then I'm going to do the same thing to finish off the brick style on the bottom, making sure that I line up the bottom line from the previous stamp and the top line of the stamp that I'm doing right now. And as you can see, everything lines up and it's nicely beautiful. I love it. All right, so now that it's dry, we're going to take some faux lavender pick that I get at Dollar Tree. We're going to cut the excess stem from the bottom, and then I'm just going to see where I want it. And then I'm going to take my drill and drill a couple of holes on, or one hole on each side of the stem. And this is because we are going to thread some jute string to tie it on the back and secure the stem. So I could have used just hot glue and I think it would have been fine, but by adding this little jute string just makes life so much easier and you don't have to use as much glue. All right, so then I'm just going to tie it on the back, really simple knot, make sure it's secure and cut the excess. I'm going to take this burlap ribbon from burlapfabric.com and I'm just going to make a very simple double loop bow, and I am going to scrunch it in the middle, tie with some jute string, secure it in the back. Then I'm going to cut the excess and I'm just going to hot glue it right in the center of that stem. Then I am going to kind of trim the little legs of the bow just to kind of see where I want them. I want them to just hang just over the board. Then I'm going to take some of this pink ribbon and I'm going to do the same thing, but it's going to be a little smaller, and we are going to hot glue it right in the center of the burlap bow. And once again, we're going to add some of these little butterflies, and I just think they're so stinking cute. I want to place one right on top just so you can see. It's kind of like, I don't know, just smelling the flowers. And then I'm going to put a couple more here and there just to finish it off. And again, just a beautiful, beautiful sign. This one is very vibrant. It's actually on the larger side, which I really, really love. And but anyways, I just love this one too. For the next DIY, I'm going to take this scrap piece of wood. I did get at the scrap wood area at the hardware store. And I'm just going to give it like a dry brush style, several coats until I kind of see the fullness that I want, or the coverage that I want. And then I'm going to lighten it up and distress it even more with my palm sander. Then I'm going to take this Pray Without Ceasing decal that I love at the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to place the Do Not Worry About Anything on top, making sure that they're all kind of like evened out evenly. Then it's time to place some eye hooks. I am going to mark where I want these eye hooks to go. Then I am going to screw in a couple of holes, screws, one on each side. And then I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree chains. They're for like the hanging baskets. I use them all the time. They're very versatile and I love them. All right, so I am going to just place them one on each side, as I said, and I did have to change the link on one, just kind of flip it to make sure that it fits what I was trying to do. So I'm going to take some leftover florals that I already had on hand. These are from different picks, and I'm just going to scrunch them together in the middle and secure it with some jute string and tie it, and then we are going to hot glue it to the top of the board. As you can tell, I did have to move the chain just a little bit, but look how pretty this looks. It is so easy to make, and again, if you have a piece of scrap wood, it's just perfect, but also you can just have the hardware store cut it for you. All right, for the next DIY, this one is made with these painter sticks. So it's not scrap wood, but it's so easy to use these painter sticks because you can get these anywhere at the hardware store or even online on Amazon. You can get a huge box very inexpensively. So I took, I don't know, what is it, about 9 or 11 of them, and I just placed them alternating up and down the little curved area. And then I'm going to take 2 more and mark where I needed to mark, cut it with my shears, and hot glue them, one on the bottom and one on the top. Very easy. All right, so now I'm going to give everything 1.5 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, And then we're going to start taking this decal from Dollar Tree. It is such a cute one. It's for the laundry room. We're going to start placing them kind of where I wanted to see them. And the beauty about these decals is that they are strong enough and sticky enough that even if you pull them apart, or not pull them apart, but pull them up and reapply them, they're still going to stick. Now, you don't want to do that a lot because they'll lose the stickiness, but you can do that a couple times and it'll be fine. All right, so once I had the decals where I wanted them, it's time to drill a couple of holes on the top so we can hang the sign. And I'm just using a thicker drill bit, and then we're going to take this jute string that I get actually at Walmart, and I'm just going to thread it through with a little bit of painter's tape, make knots, and that's it for this one. Such a clever one. I love it. It would be great in the door of the laundry or any wall in the laundry room. I think it'd be good. For the next DIY, I'm going to take another one of those pieces of scrap wood, give it another rough coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, and then sand down the edges and everything for a more distressed look. Now I'm going to take this other decal from the Dollar Tree, and it just talks about dreams and let your dreams take flight. It's just beautiful. So I'm just going to kind of place the first one very lightly, and then I'm going to place the bottom one, and until I see what I like, then I'm going to press it down and make sure that it's stuck on there. And then I'm going to take a couple screws here. I'm just going to screw it in on each side and then remove it. This is just to start a little hole. And then I'm going to start threading, or not threading, but screwing in these eye hooks. And instead of the top of the sign, we're going to do the side of the sign. And I'm going to do that the same thing on the other side. Then I'm going to thread some jute string through the eye hooks, and that's it. We're going to tie it on the top. Such an easy sign to make. I love the way it looks. I love the message, and I think it's just beautiful. And this is it for today. You're going to have to let me know which one is your favorite. I can't pick a favorite. They're all my favorites, but let me know in the comments. If you're visiting for the first time, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you consider joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, welcome back. I have a playlist and another video here for you to watch. Make sure to click on them, check them out. I'll see you later, and have a blessed day. Bye.